Hello, everybody. It is Boston Chris back with another fabulous episode of Tunesday Tuesday. This is episode number 31, and we're excited to bring to you special guest Amanda Page Cornett from Spartanburg, South Carolina. We're going to get to talking to her very, very soon. Very happy to announce we don't have any tributes this week, which means no notable musicians or artists on the entire planet passed away this past week. That's good news. So that's good. It'll be a completely tribute-free show, still with 20 or right around 18, 20 songs of fabulousness. Again, if you're watching live on Twitch or Facebook and you'd like to request your favorite song or a song that you'd like to hear, just type the title and artist of the song into your chat, Facebook or Twitch. If you are watching or listening in the future, that means you're on Spotify or YouTube. I appreciate you guys watching, and if you hear the sound of my voice and you've only found the interview with Amanda Page Cornett and you'd like to watch the entire recap, look in your description below. There'll be a link there for the entire recap of episode 31 with all the music, etc., etc. So make sure you check that out. And without any further ado, guys, let's get into my conversation with the one and only Miss Amanda Cornett. Let's set that up right now. Amanda Page Cornett, how
Hello.
are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I hope I didn't scare you. I was trying not to.
No, you didn't. You're good.
How are you tonight? You doing good?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. This is the first time we've ever talked. So
It is.
this will be an awesome time to learn about you. And I've already just played a song of yours that featured a buddy of mine, Mark Narmore. So Dreamcatcher. So I saw that and I was like, oh, we're playing that to lead off.
Yeah.
I love Mark so much. He's such a cool dude. And
He is one of my favorite people, one of my favorite co-writers, and I love him to death. So.
yeah, he's a great guy. I met him doing we were both celebrity judges at the Florence Theater for an American Idol event a few years back. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, he's awesome. I'm very grateful for him.
So we're going to be featuring Amanda's new single here in a little while, and she's also got her pick of the week, which we'll chat about too. But let's get to know Amanda a little bit. You were born in South Carolina, right?
I was Spartanburg, South Carolina, home to a lot of great musicians.
Yeah, and so were you there for a while? Were you kind of raised in that area as well, or?
I was raised there. Spent a few years in Florida, but then moved back. So I was raised in Spartanburg most of my growing years. So.
So did you know early on that music was your path, or what did you want it to be when you grew up, so to speak?
Now I want to be a kid.
Right.
When I grow up.
Yeah.
But I've always known music was one of my things. I started making up songs as soon as I could talk, and I guess writing them down when I was 9. So it's always been a part of me, and recording them down, writing my little lyric sheets down by hand. And I finally performed an original song for the first time when I was about 12 or 13. And that moment really solidified that that's what I felt like I was meant to do with my life.
So when did musicianship take shape? Was there like just a guitar picked up, or how did that work?
I am not a natural guitarist.
Okay.
I'll just be honest right there. So I learned piano when I was very young and learned to read music. And so in school and choir and all that, I was able to sight sing and learned how to sight sing with different things, which I think the music and piano was invaluable for that purpose.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It was not my favorite instrument at the time. I wish I could still play a little more than I can. Yeah. But I picked up guitar so that I could start accompanying myself with the songs that I was writing, and had an amazing first guitar teacher, Mr. Joe Bennett, who had a top 10 hit when he was 15 from Joe Bennett and the Sparkle Tones called Black Slacks, little rockabilly tune. And that was meeting Joe and working with Joe was extremely invaluable, not only just for guitar, but for my songwriting as well.
Yeah, guitars are just easier to like lug around, right? To shows and things.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, it seems it's always either piano or guitar, and even the pianists have to kind of gesticulate or matriculate over to a guitar, just because I think it's easier to write songs through a guitar, isn't it?
Well, for me it is, but it's also a lot easier to lug around, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the keys are better than drums.
Right.
But
yeah.
But it was one of those things that I had to really learn, and I'm still continuously trying to build that skill. It's not a talent for sure. Some people just pick it up and it's natural. The songwriting, the singing part of things is natural for me. The guitar playing is work.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I mean, I'm not a musician, so I know how it is. Like, I've tried and tried. I want to be. I just can't make myself do it. I love to sing, too, so I could probably, do some gigs here and there if I could just learn how to play, but can't do it. So,
well, that's an instrument too.
Absolutely, I agree, and we always talk about that on the show. Vocals as an instrument. So really, really young, 9 years old, writing words, and melody probably starts coming in around 12 or 13. When do you start performing shows?
Oh gosh. I mean, well, around the living room I was performing
Of course.
before then. And I mean,
Yeah.
when I was writing the songs, I actually would come up with the lyrics and melodies. I was writing full songs as a kid. They probably weren't great, but every now and then I go back and look at them, because every now and then I'll find like a little gem in something I wrote when I was 9 or 10 years old that, oh, that could actually be something cool in a better song now.
Yeah.
But like I said, I was probably 12 or 13 when I first played an original on stage, and that was a really, really cool feeling. And the reception I got was extremely, extremely great, and just really solidified that that's where I felt like I was supposed to be with my
That's
life,
pretty
is doing
validating,
music.
isn't it? When your dream
Yeah,
and
it
your
is.
passion is music, and then you go out and perform, and people are actually digging it, and then on top of that,
Yeah.
somebody hands you money for doing it too, right? Like,
They didn't hand me money yet, but
right.
that came later. But even just that validation of people like appreciating something that I had created
Yeah.
was great.
So how do we go from that to the incredible songwriters you've gotten to work with? Like, I mean, holy crap! Like, just talking about Mark Narmore, but also like
oh my gosh,
Will Rambeau and Spooner Oldham, and I mean Rich Fagan. You've had a time. So how'd you get into that, into those rooms?
Well, I will say first that I owe Joe Bennett credit for teaching me to make songwriting a skill, not a talent.
Mm-hmm.
He told me when I was probably 13 or 14, they lost their record deal because they could only write when it came to them. And he said, I want you to practice writing even if you don't feel like it. And he gave me a title, and I came back the next week and he said, I thought about that. That was probably too much. And I handed him the song.
Yeah.
And that was probably the most valuable piece of advice I've ever gotten, was make it a skill, not just a talent.
I've never heard it put that way, and that's so true. It's so true. Yeah.
And so when I got to Nashville, I never expected to be one of these overnight wham bams. I knew it was going to be a long road. I knew I had a lot to learn. So I went out to writer nights, made contacts, tried to, if I thought somebody's music was good, I asked if we could write together. And I got very lucky with some people that said yes. And I met Mark through Songwriter Girl Camp that I was one of the staff members for, with Kirsty Manna, who's also a #1 hit writer. And his daughter actually was coming to Songwriter Girl Camp, not him, obviously. But
yeah.
but I'd met him a few times, and I reached out to him one day on Facebook just on a whim. I figured the answer's always no if you don't ask, and just said, hey, Mark, I'd love to get together with you and your Faith, and write some time. And he was like, yeah, man, let's do it. And we got together, and man, we co-wrote 5 songs on my first album.
Wow.
And I just recorded a new project. We just finished the mixes, and he's on 3 of the 6 on this project too.
Wow.
So.
Awesome. That's good stuff. Yeah, Mark is just a sweetheart, man. When we started podcasting again, like I took a 4-year break, and during my 4-year hiatus, I kept like kind of a hidden wish list of folks I wanted to chat with. If I ever started again, and Mark was on that list. So, and he was very happy to do it when we came back. So, yeah, just an incredible guy. And of course, Will Rambeau, if you don't know who that is Cherie Austin's husband. And I'm just a huge Cherie Austin fan. Who's not? Right?
I am too.
yeah.
I've met many people, and she was one of the few that I was a little starstruck by, even though maybe by people today's standards might not have known who she was, but I love her music.
She's just a dynamic voice, heck of a songwriter too in her own right.
Oh yeah.
And she's doing some big things in Nashville as well that you guys may not know about because she's behind the scenes now. But
I mean, I see her and Will every now and then. I see
Yeah.
them at writers' night sometimes, and I know they're producing other people as
Hmm.
well and writing. And
Yeah.
that was definitely an honor to get to write with Will, and hopefully that
Just
song will come out at some point.
pretty cool that you're in those rooms, though. And I mean, just being in Nashville is the first step of that. But like, you have to be putting yourself out there. You have to network. You have to meet people. You have to be outspoken and at times, but at the same time, not be too outspoken. Right? It's a balancing act, right?
Absolutely, and you have to be willing to let somebody tell you no and be okay with it,
Yeah, and that's hard.
because all of the I'd say all of the hit writers I've written with, most of the hit writers I've written with, I approached about writing,
Yeah,
and thankfully they agreed.
yeah.
One of them, it just happened because we just happened to be in a room and we were talking about something and it came up and we were like, we need to write that. So it happened.
Hmm.
But most of them I did have to approach, and I was very thankful that they were willing to write with me. And so I try to always be willing to write with anybody that's
That's
new
smart.
coming in
Yeah.
or that hasn't been here very long, because you never know what kind of
Hmm.
magic they're going to bring in.
Pay it forward. And I
Yeah,
mean, the more ideas you have, the more things you can throw at the wall, right? I mean, it's just the way it is.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I've just had a recent, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just recently had a really cool experience with a gentleman who is part of Guitars for Vets, which provides guitars for veterans and guitar lessons. And he, we played a little show together and we chatted. We went to lunch one day and we got together to write. And he said, this is the first time I've ever co-written.
Wow.
And I was very shocked by that, but also very honored that he felt comfortable enough
Hmm.
to put himself in that situation with me. So,
And so you've opened that up for him now, right? So he's going to be more, yeah,
yes,
he's going to be more open for that. So that's good stuff. So you've also kind of dipped your toes into acting as well, right? So is that also a passion of
absolutely.
yours?
I enjoy acting. I enjoy being on stage. It's fun to be entertaining. I like to be entertaining.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm entertaining myself more than I entertain other people. And,
Hmm.
as long as I laugh at my jokes, somebody's laughing.
Hey, I laugh at my jokes more than other people, so don't feel bad.
So, oh, my band, I get quite the few eye rolls from my
Oh
band at
yeah.
times, but I'm like,
My wife always tells me, as long as you're entertaining yourself, you're doing all right.
yeah, my
But
dogs don't seem to mind.
I used to do a joke a day as a reel or like a short on YouTube. I stopped doing it last year, but I used to laugh at them so much, and I made them. So yeah,
There you go.
it's crazy stuff. I love that your band, which is called Almost Angels, is essentially you and three siblings, right?
It is. Well, our drummer is back home in Georgia now, so we've had to replace him. But I still have Randall Scott Peterson on guitar and Sherry Peterson Tennell on bass, and we've been playing together for a really long time. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am that they have stuck with me, because I'm still technically a solo artist, but
Yeah.
I feel very blessed that they have continued to stay on my path and stay with me.
And you've spent a lot of time in the Muscle Shoals area too, right? So how has
Uh,
that helped you as an artist?
Mark brought me down.
Yeah,
I
I
started
figured.
writing with Mark, and he took me down to write with Spooner and Carl Holder. And I've told him this, and I could not thank him enough for welcoming me into that family. And really, I feel like Muscle Shoals, truly, all the people I've met down there have embraced me
Hmm.
as one of their own and really accept me as one of their own. And there really is something about Muscle Shoals, about the area, about the town. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the river singing, like they say, but it is a magical place. And I'm very thankful to have done both of my projects down
It's
there.
such an underrated musical mecca in our
Oh,
country. Like people don't list it when they talk about music. Like it's like Nashville, L.A., New York, maybe Austin gets
yep.
mentioned, but never ever that area. And it should, man. It should get more love.
Absolutely. If you've never seen the documentary, the Muscle Shoals documentary,
Hmm.
I highly, highly recommend it. It's truly is magical. And that documentary only highlights about three of the
Yeah,
historic studios down there, and
right.
there are a lot more.
And if you're a music fan, I highly recommend you go check out the area.
Yes.
The studios down there are super open and doing tours and letting you come in and check things out. And even if you're a tourist, as long as you're respectful, don't be a jerk, obviously. But go down there and check it out. I think you guys, if you're a music fan, you really dig it. Let's get into Amanda Page Cornett's pick of the week for her song of the week, which is something we do with every special guest every week. The song she picked is Cohary Creek by Chris Nelson. Tell us why you picked this song.
Chris is a dear friend of mine and co-writer of mine, and I know that he had recently released a new song, and so I wanted to feature him because I think it's a good thing to feature your friends and to share their music as well, and kind of share fan bases and expand mine with his and his with mine.
And he's in the chat and he says hello, by the way. And
hi, Chris.
So I always blind react the pick of the week. I have not heard the song, so we always blind react that, and then we kind of do a little reaction video after. But I'm excited about that. So every week, and the reason why I do that is a little selfish because I've learned so many new names and new artists by asking another songwriter who they would love to feature, and it's so cool. Learning new music. It's like Christmas for me, man, and. So excited about listening to that. So the song you're featuring this week is the new single. It's called Hearts on a String, and this will be the first one we play this week. Tell us about the song and how it came to be.
Well, it's one I wrote with Mr. Mark Normore.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise. And I mean, it's really pretty pretty as much as a blunt song, basically. I've been wearing hearts on my string, or hearts, loves from my past around my neck.
Yeah.
It's saying basically, I've been wearing all this baggage and now I'm ready to let it go. Yeah. Like some of it's been weighing me down, or I've been letting it affect me going forward, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm letting it go. I'm breaking that chain. And I think most of us, at least by the time we're adults, have been through that and have had a few people that have hurt us, or we've hurt a few people, and we kind of wear some of those little charms around like they're prized possessions or baggage, but they're not. It's something you learn from, and then you can just put it away.
So this is it is a heartbreak song, but it does have a happy ending. And, you're trying to be positive as the deliverer of the song. But I've noticed here recently in the last couple of years of music and country in general, maybe you can tell me if that's kind of the point of the song, that a lot of times these heartbreak songs lately are being turned into happy songs. Like the tempo is upbeat, it's up tempo, and that's not normal for a heartbreak song. So was that part of the strategy behind the song?
Well, I really don't consider it a heartbreak song. Really on this one, because I feel like it's about the artist, the singer, realizing that they don't have to hold on to the past.
Okay.
That they can move forward and be themselves and not worry about all those other things that they learned from. It's like, I've learned from that and I can let it go now. So I can move forward. It's coming out the other
side, essentially.
Absolutely. It's like, I'm not going to hold on to shame or hold on to regret or any of that. I'm going to move forward. I've been holding it down. It's been holding me down, but there's no room for that now. I've learned to care and love about myself so I can go forward.
Yeah, and I love the messaging. It's just so cool. But it is cool to see, like, we had Robbie Johnson on the show a few weeks ago, and he's a phenomenal Nashville artist. And he has a song called If Barstools Could Cry, and it's a heartbreak song, but it's an up-tempo and upbeat song. So it's different, and I love that. It's kind of a different message or a different delivery lately. Man, so cool to have Amanda Page Cornett on the show for the very first time. Let me tell you where you can follow along with her. We'll make sure this stuff is in the description below, too, if you're watching in the future on YouTube and Spotify. The webpage is Amanda Page Cornett, and that's with 2 T's at the end. So Cornett, just like you can see on your screen right there. The different social medias, she is on X, which is Amanda P. Cornett. Instagram is Amanda P. Cornett. Facebook is Amanda Page Cornett Music. And her YouTube is Amanda Page Cornett. So make sure you're following along. Yeah. And, of course, you can go to Spotify, become a monthly follow or monthly listener as well, which is really important, by the way, right?
Yes. Yes, and we have new music coming out very, very, very soon. So
do we know when?
I just got the masters last week, so it's in the process. It's getting close.
We're kind of close, yeah. If we're on masters,
getting close.
Very cool.
We got the masters. We're just we still got to do some artwork and pick the order, but getting very close and very excited about the new music.
Yeah, so you guys make sure you're following because you may be the very
Yes.
first to know when she delivers that message. You're open invite anytime you want to come back, girl. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm glad Chris was able to chime in too. So
Yeah, we're looking forward to playing the songs. And again, Amanda, thank you so much. You guys make sure you're following along, and you have a good night.
thank you, you too.
All right, bye bye. All right, guys, we're going to get into the music. Let's set that up real quick. Yes, so we had Amanda Page Cornett on the show this week. So excited to feature new people that I've never met, right? Never heard of. So excited about this, and thank you so much, Jill, for setting this up. Jill is, I believe, the manager or publicist of Amanda, and we're going to be featuring other artists through Jill, especially one next week as well, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But if you are watching on YouTube or Spotify, make sure you click the link below for the entire recap if you want to listen to the music as well.